So you want to become a backend engineer? Ooh, that sounds fun. Okay, so on this video, I'm going to be talking to you about some of the major skills that you need to know to become backend software engineer. I was say software backend engineer, but obviously that doesn't make any sense. But yeah, you're welcome to my video. My name is Susan. I talk about topics on tech, faith, and lifestyle. So today, I'm going to be taking you guys through some of the essential skills that you need to know to become a backend engineer. Without further ado, let's get into the video. So I think the important thing that you need to know is that this is a very critical role in your team because you're going to be dealing with essentially data and how to manage data, how to structure it, and this is something that you probably want to, take pretty seriously. Not to scare you or anything, but it's just like something that you definitely want to, it's a critical part of the team. So yeah. So first of all, you need to be comfortable learning at least one programming language, and that could be Node.js, C#, PHP, Go, Python, Java. These are some of the programming languages that you want to learn to become a backend engineer. The second thing I think you should be learning is Git and GitHub. And I have to say, because I don't know why I'm bringing it up here, but I have to say that this is not only for backend engineers, but this is for front-end engineers as well. But it's something you definitely want to know as a backend engineer. Git is kind of like a time machine for developers. So it's a way that you can go back in time on any feature that you have built on your branch, on your repo. You can go back and see a previous commit. You can revert to that commit and work from there. So there are so many cool things that you can do with Git, and it's pretty critical for you to know how to use Git. The second is GitHub, and GitHub is kind of like it's in the cloud, right? And this is where most of our repos are. Some people use other tools like Bitbucket and GitLab, but they all kind of do almost the same thing in the sense that your projects are on the cloud. So when it's a tool for you to be able to collaborate as well with other developers. So when you build, for example, as a backend, obviously you're building the server for what I am working on. I'm probably building the homepage, right? When you are done with whatever you're building, you push it directly to GitHub. And the way for me to see what you have built is to go to GitHub and pull what you have pushed to GitHub to be able to see what the updates are, and be able to add my own code as well so that it works together. So yeah, GitHub is that place that it's in the cloud, and so you need to be able to know how to use GitHub as well. I believe that it's very critical to also know how to use the command line. So understand the terminals. This is important for front-end devs as well, but as a back-end dev, I think it's pretty critical for you to know how Linux works, for you to know how to use the command line, understand the terminals for the different tools you'll be using. It's pretty critical. So for example, if you're using Docker has like a ton of commands that you would be using, and so it's important for you to know how to use those commands. The next thing is databases. I think that it is pretty important for you to know how to use databases, right? This is one key part, like I mentioned earlier, because you're dealing with data. You need to know how to manage your data in the databases. So generally, we have two types of databases, relational and non-relational. For the relational databases, some examples are MySQL, Postgres, MariaDB. For non-relational databases, you have MongoDB, obviously, Cassandra, InfluxDB. So what you can do is learn one of this. So you can either learn how to use a relational or a non-relational database. You can learn how to use one of both just to see how they both work. And yeah, this is pretty essential. Also, another thing you want to learn about is how to use APIs. It's called Application Programming Interface, and it's the way that you connect your client side, that's the user-facing part of your application, to the server. Think about it like a restaurant. You go to a restaurant and you want to order food. The waiter comes, take your order, and then they go to the kitchen, get your food, and they bring it back to you. So yeah, the waiter is basically the API in this sense, because they are, taking in your request and giving you back what you need. Ideally, they should be giving you back what you need. So yeah, that's It's very important for you to learn how to use the API, how it works. Most of the common APIs are implemented using JSON, so understanding how JSON works is pretty cool as well. And also understanding REST APIs, how to get data from the server, how to post data or post a request to the server to get information. Or you could actually post data. For example, if you're registering a user on a platform, like if you're signing up on an application, you have to put your name, your email, and all that information. So that is you posting data. So there are different types of requests that you can make using the REST API. There's the get, post, put, and delete. So the post is for you to be able to add data to the database. The put is for you to be able to update an already existing data. So with put, you need an ID from the database to be able to update that data. So for example, if James Patrick is a user on the database and his age, was imputed as 29 and they just found out that he is 42, you just need an ID to retrieve that data and update his age and post it back to the server. So that's what the put is for. Get is to fetch data. So if I'm trying to find out information about, again, James Patrick, I just need that ID and I'm going to get all the information about him. So that's for the get. For the delete is basically to delete James Patrick from the system because we probably don't need him anymore. So those are some of the things that you definitely want to learn, as part of the learning as a backend developer. I think another important thing to learn about is authentication as well. Being able to make sure that only people that have access to your system or your software, can access it with their username and password or whatever information you require from them. So understanding how authentication works, the different types of tools you can use to authenticate your application. These are some of the things that you probably want to learn as well. And I think that is all. That is not all, but those are some of the primary things that I believe that you should learn as a backend developer. You don't have to learn every single skill that most backend developers know to start, applying for jobs and seeking out opportunities, because to be honest, let's face it, you're going to be learning most of the things that you would actually build experience when you work on real life applications, right? So that's something to keep in mind. Start learning these things, understand the dynamics behind building, the server side for an application, and understand those intricacies, how they work, and then start applying to opportunities and build your experience from there. I hope this video has been helpful to you in knowing those things that you need to learn to become a backend engineer. And I hope to see you in my next video. If you're new to this channel, thank you for watching. Please subscribe to my channel for content on the tech, faith, and lifestyle. And if you are an existing subscriber, thank you for watching again, and thank you for visiting my video or visiting my channel. I will see you in my next video. Have a good day. Bye.